Okay, hello, we're going to try and solve this particular question today. What is pi? Okay, this little symbol here is a symbol from the Greek alphabet, and it refers to what we call pi. I'm going to write it down here. Now, if you look on the internet, or I'm sure you've learned before, pi is a mathematical kind of like a concept of, and if you look up on the internet, you'll get the answer that pi has a value, and that value is 3.1415, and it keeps going on and on and on, and it actually goes on. No one's actually ever been able to find out the complete number that pi equals. There's competitions around the world each year that see how many decimal places people can call it to, but it's a number that continues on forever. So if we look on the internet, we see that pi equals 3.1415, but that doesn't really answer our question. We want to know what actually is pi. What does it mean? Okay, where does this number come from? So that's what we're going to look at. Now, to look at that, we're going to look at, or to try and solve that, we're going to have a look at some circles. Okay, I'm going to draw one circle here. Okay, a nice little small one. And as you can see, it's 1 unit across. I'm going to keep drawing that. Okay, we get a rough little circle. Now, the measurement across the circle through the middle point of the circle, so it goes from one side of the circle to the other side through the middle, is referred to, that's called the diameter. The other measurement is the measurement around the circle, and that is called the circumference. Now, the diameter is a very easy one to measure because it's a straight line. So in this case, we can see it is 1 unit. So we'll put that in down at 1 unit. Now, the circumference is very difficult to measure because it's on a straight line. So in this case, we're going to have to estimate. So if we can say that's kind of like about 1 unit, that's another unit, and say that's another unit. So we'll say the circumference equals 3 units. So the diameter is 1 unit, the circumference is 3 units. We're going to have a look at a slightly bigger triangle now, a circle now. And this circle has a diameter of 2 units. So we're going to fill in the circle here. Now the diameter is 2, so we put the diameter equals 2. And let's have a look, so it's about 1, like I said, it's 1 across, 2 across. So let's have a look at the circumference. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 6 units. So in that case, the circumference is 6 units. Try one more circle here. 1, 2, 3 units across. So we're going to have our circle look something like that. Better if we have a compass, but that's fine enough. So we've got the diameter and the circumference. In this case, the diameter is 1, 2, 3 units. And the circumference around is like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the circumference, it's about 9 units around it. So we've got 3 examples here. We've got a circumference of 3, diameter of 1, circumference of 6, diameter of 2, circumference of 9, diameter of 3. So we can see a little bit of a pattern here. So if we divide the circumference by the diameter, we should get the ratio of about 3. So 3 divided by 1 equals 3. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 9 divided by 3 equals 1. So we've got a ratio of about 3. So we're going to try and be a little bit more accurate with our measurement of the circumference. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle with a diameter of 10 centimeters in this case, and then I'm going to put the circumference around it with a more accurate tool. Okay, to get a more accurate measurement of the circumference so that we can compare it to the diameter, I have drawn a circle on the paper and I've put some string around, marked it up with some pins. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to measure the diameter. And the diameter of this is 10 centimeters. Okay, I made it nice and easy. So it's 10 centimeters is the diameter. Now, to measure the circumference, I've put the string around and it ends when we get to the black dot. So when I take the pins out, I can measure this on my ruler. Okay, now using our theory from over here, that it's about 3 times the distance around, or 3 times the distance around, we found the diameter was equal to 10 centimeters. So our circumference should be about 3 times that, which is about 30 centimeters. Okay, so we've taken the string down, and now I'm going to measure it on Dr. Nudgy's ruler. We've got this spot here, the black spot where it came to. Unfortunately, Dr. Nudgy's ruler is missing a bit around the 30 centimeter mark, so we're going to measure it from 50 centimeters onwards. So I'll line up the 50 centimeters here where it starts, and then measure it along here. We've started it at 50 and we're measuring it all the way down, so that's 10, 20, 30, where we suggested it should be, just at 30, but it's slightly longer than 30. It's 31.5 or 4. Okay, now before we said that, before we said that the diameter is 10, and using what we'd looked at before, the ratio of 3, then the circumference really should have been 30 centimeters, because it's 3 times the diameter. But what we've just found here is the circumference is 31.4 centimeters, and the diameter is 10 centimeters. So if we divide that to find the ratio, we get the ratio is 3.14. Okay, so we've done a little bit more of an exact measurement, and this is the ratio we came up with, which is beginning to look remarkably like what we know that pi equals. So to answer our first question, what is pi? Pi is the ratio of the circumference divided by the diameter. So pi equals the circumference divided by the diameter. Very simple.